Why do I think most Scorpio women are so petty? I truly believe because see, I dated a Scorpio woman for 5 years, and I dated two of them briefly, two other ones briefly. And what I've learned about them is they're such control freaks, you know, that instead of, sometime in life you can't control everything. You can do the best you can based on what you understand, and you take it from there and you keep it moving, little stuff to fall on the ground, whatever. Okay, you got most of it. Okay, whereas with them, Scorpio women that I've dated, they know that they cannot do anything with the powers that be, and also, the police department, just law enforcement in general. So in their mind, anybody else is subordinates to them and beneath them. So, and nobody better not stand up to them. And see, that was the reason why most of the Scorpio women that I dated would end up breaking up. We would end up breaking up because they couldn't control me. They like for you to walk on eggshells and stuff, and I didn't do stuff like that. And it really, 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 really bothered them. It did because of the fact they're control freaks. So that's why they're so petty. You know, like they have the audacity to want to know all about your business, but never tell you any about theirs. So what I would do is I would, do the same thing to her, and that made them extremely upset. Seriously. And I'm like, well, why are you upset? Anytime I ask you a question, you tell me that you don't want to talk about it. So I would tell her the same thing, especially when it was something that she really, really, really wanted to know. I said, why don't you want to talk about it? And it's interesting because usually, like if I find out that a woman that I find very attractive is a Scorpio, I usually just turn around and walk away because it's not going to work. They're too petty. They are. They're double standard. See, excuse me. They're double standard. Um, and they want to try to, know everything about you. And when you ask them, they want to be offended. And I'm just like, well, no, that's not going to work because if you're going to ask me a bunch of questions about what I'm doing in my whereabouts, I'm going to ask you. Like every Scorpio that I ever dated, we always had this issue that she wanted to sleep around, but she didn't want me to. And I was like, look, honey, I told you before. Let me tell you again. It's going to be two hoes in the relationship. Okay. Because if you are sleeping around, okay, that's fine. I'm going to be sleeping with other women too. And they would get an attitude. Seriously. Being petty. And I'm just like, well, I already told you. I'm do me. Okay. Flat out. So that's the reason why they are so petty, because they're control freaks. They are. And it always end up blowing up in their face. Because scorpions sting and bite, and they always end up stinging themselves right in their ass. Yeah, yeah. Like I got an issue with a Scorpio woman now. Guess how long we've been at it? 7 years. Yeah, because again, she petty. You know, she don't like that I know how to outsmart her too at her own expense exclusively. Because according to them, anything outside the powers that be, they look at other people that's outside of that as the subordinates, aka beneath them. And I stand up to her. Other people don't. I do. And that's the biggest reason I always will fall out with Scorpio women, because I stand up to them. Because according to them, you're not supposed to do that. And I'm like, well, only way that's not gonna happen, sweetie, if you don't try to overstep your boundaries with me. You know, I'll let them have it. So, put in the comments section, fellas, for those of you that've dated Scorpio women, do you consider them petty? And if so, could you include why? I want to know. Ow, get down, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Ow, God, get down.